get the light right and my camera the way it needs to be. Got a bigger issue. So, it's too early. I had to be up super early this morning for us. Oh, yes. So I'm it's me, Joe. This is Stacy. And for this channel, and I'm going to be coloring with you. This is Color with Me. I hope you can hear me pretty well. Mic closer. So I, it's funny. I forgot that I had an early morning seminar. So I've been up since 7:30 and trying to get going through that. And this is a page that I wrote up while I was going in the seminar. I just had to show you guys that. Let me flip through my book here. You're going to see a lot of pages that I have not released yet to get to. Alright, so my intention is to print these out, but my printers and I are having technical difficulties. We're not speaking. And I don't know what I did to it. So we have to hash some things out. Until that happens, I'm going to be coloring my sketches. I've already uploaded this, scanned it, uploaded it for the next book, so it's good, but I like coloring my pages. But as this production gets to be more professional, I'm going to be using color difference. So sometimes you're going to hear me stop to sharpen. And the sharpener gets locked up sometimes too, so sharpening takes a little bit of time. But that was a lot of extra noise that was not necessary. So let's get started. Today I wanted to talk about love and ADHD because I have recently gotten into the date. Well, not recently. It's been a few years. I've been on the dating scene, and it's been an adventure. And I have told some of my dates and told countless friends. I have one guy friend that I kind of limit to all the time, and I've told him that I don't think I'm built. I don't think my ADHD and I are built for the dating scene because, and he's all the time, he's like, why? And I'm like, because, dude, listen, the way there's so many rules and hurdles and things that you can and cannot do if you're dating, and it doesn't rock with my ADHD. Case in point, when you start talking to somebody, and you know how we are with ADHD, we get excited and it's like, oh my gosh, it's a new person. It's something shiny and new. And what happens when we get something shiny and new? We want to commune with it all the time. We want to talk to it all the time. So I will text you a lot. I'm that girl that'll send you memes if I like you. Send you memes. I'll ask you questions. I want to talk to you every day. see how you doing. I would check in on you. Um, I dated a guy who disappeared on me for like 4 days. And I'm like, dude, I sent him a message and I said, are you in the hospital or prison? Should I call somebody? He's like, no. What do you, we talked. And he said, no, I needed a break. And I'm like, from me? He's like, from everything. And he went through this whole spiel about how he takes his weekends off and he just does nothing. And later I found out that taking the weekends off meant taking the weekends off from one person to date another. Yeah, that was a wake up call. That was something that was really weird because I don't know. One thing about us too with ADHD, we're so trusting, and so I thought that when we started like really going and things were really going great, that you know we were dating each other and that was it. So that's another thing that I found out about dating these days. And I say these days because I was married for 24 years. So for like two and almost 2.5 decades, I was like not even in this market, not even doing dating at all. So it was a lot to kind of learn, but um, it was really weird to kind of learn those rules. And going back to the story, but a friend told me, well, you're supposed to date more than one person at a time, so that when that person is like, doing his thing and, um, or acting up or whatever, you got somebody else, that you can. Y'all, it's a lot for me to keep up with one person, to keep my attention on that one person, to like remember the things I need to remember about the one person. I mean, more than one person? Are you serious? That's legit supposed to happen? And she's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. I don't know if I can do that, but okay. So yeah, I just and I tried it. I did try talking to more than one person at a time, and it was exhausting. And it was just like you know what? I give up. I did. There was a point where I had some despair, where I was just like, I can't do the dating roles, because not only are you not supposed to talk too much. I had one. There was one guy that told me that you're not supposed to text a lot in the beginning, and I'm like, why not? If I'm trying to learn who you are, and we're we're like discovering each other, and why wouldn't I want to text you a lot? And I'm like, can you define a lot? And he's like, I don't know. So there's another thing too about us. I think a lot of us, we're like, okay, so what's too much? Because we've been told all of our lives that we're too much, and nobody's ever defined what that is. And so every time I try to get somebody to define what that is, they can't, or they won't, or whatever. So it's been an adventure. And so just like going through, and then okay, this is another thing that makes it complicated, is social media. I stopped watching a lot of the TikToks and things on dating because I don't know what planet y'all are dating on, but I can't. If he doesn't text you back in this amount of time, you're supposed to do this, and you're not supposed to text him back at this amount of time. If he wanted to, he would, and if he's busy, like, who has time for all that? It's exhausting. So recently, I just decided to kind of do things my own. And this goes back to my friend, my male friend, who kind of gets the brunt of my what am I doing dating stuff. I told him, I said, you know what? I'm not built for this. I'm not built for dating the traditional way. So whoever gets me next is going to get the weird goofy chick. I'm just going to be who I am. I'm going to text you probably too much, according to the rules. I am going to expect to talk to you a lot. I'm going to expect to want to, you know, do things and be around you, and you know, and not in a clingy way, but just in a, hey, aren't we supposed to be talking to each other? Aren't I supposed to ask questions? And that was another thing too. Somebody told me I asked too many questions. But how am I supposed to know stuff if I don't ask questions? Turns out that person was me. Um, it was also one of these guys that stopped texting me after 5 o'clock, and it was really weird. And I asked a lot of questions about that. Yeah, he had the whole family and everything, and was just texting me while he was at work, bored. So, but my asking a lot of questions revealed all that. Um, I actually I also accidentally got somebody in trouble. There was another guy who was like, well, when I get home, um, he wasn't married, but I think he lived with his baby mama or something. So he was like, when I get home, it's about me and my kids. Because he's a single dad. I mean, I like dating single parents because I'm a single parent and I think we got a lot in common. Um, so I'm like, I get that, the kids demand a lot of you and you get home, but there was something. But I'm like, you can talk to me after during the day, right? You can talk to me like after, um, later at night. And he said, yeah. So I was texting him, and apparently his phone was going off too much. And he told me that. I'm like, okay, but if you ask me a question that deserves like a lot of, like, you asked me a question about something, um, and it was like one of those that it takes a minute to answer. So I gave a long answer for it. I can't remember what the question was. It was like one of those, hey, um, have you ever done such and such? One of those questions, one of those get to know you questions, you know? And I answered it, and I'm long-winded. I'm a writer, so yeah, I wrote a lot, and I try to break it up, and so it's not in big paragraphs because I learned that a lot of guys don't read the big paragraphs. They break up the text. They're more likely to read your messages, but that means sending more messages. So I did that. His phone was going off too much, and apparently he got caught. Now I didn't know he got caught cheating, um, allegedly cheating with me. I didn't know he was with somebody. I didn't even know about the baby mama live-in situation. I just was scrolling through social media. He happened to be friends with me, and some chick tagged him in this post about, you know, going off about finding him texting some other chick late at night. I'm like, ooh, chick. I'm the other chick. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I didn't say anything to her. I didn't want to get into it. I'm like, oh, you don't know it's me. I'm just gonna leave it alone because it was not, it was his problem to deal with, not mine. I didn't even know. Excuse me. I didn't even know. So I'm just like, it's his mess to mop up, and I don't know what happened, but so the next guy I had a date with, probably a few weeks later, I ended up telling him, I'm like, okay. So after that, I developed a series of questions, and it was, are you married? Are you living with someone who thinks that they're with you? Do you have any kids? Do you have any kids that are on the way? Do you have any kid? Do you have someone who you think may have a child of yours on the way? And the guy I was with started laughing because he's like, this is a weird line of questioning. I was like, no, dude. I was like, I've been through some weird situations, and I told him, I said, so I mean, if you've got some kind of weirdness going on, and if you are seeing someone, or you're with someone, or you're married or something, you need to tell me because I will accidentally out you. And I knew something was up because he was like, what do you mean by out me? What are you trying to out me about? And he got really upset about that. And I'm not saying, he was like, do you just go around doing that? I said, no. I said, if you listen, I said, accidentally out you because of the way I am, the type of person I am when I get to know somebody. Just my mannerisms, my behaviors are not the type of behaviors you can hide in a side chick. Um, So he got mad, and I'm like, okay. We ended up not going out because we didn't go on the date because my spidey senses said that he was a little too angry about that question. So he probably had a situation going that he did not need me to be a part of because I'm that chick that'll show up that you'll say, "Hey, I'm sick." I'll show up with some soup and medicine, and you know, I'll take care of you, and I'll end up meeting your wife and hitting it off. She'll probably like me. I'm a very likable person. Um, that's not good for the guy at all. So, so yeah, my adventures in dating, they've been, it's been a real, I don't know, it's probably worthy of a novel at this point. Um, but I've decided that I'm just gonna be me. I'm just gonna be me, do me, and if they have a problem with that, then they can date somebody else. And I know that was the attitude I was supposed to go in there with in the beginning. Yes, I know. But those of you who are not neurodivergent watching this, you got to understand we spend our lives adjusting our behavior to accommodate the people that we're around, our families and friends, because we were told that we have to be a certain way and that we're not normal. We're not acting the way that we should be acting. We are there's something wrong with our behavior. So we've spent our lives adjusting those behaviors to the people around us. I am very, very attuned to when someone's mood changes and things just don't, just the whole tone of the whole situation just goes weird. And I won't know why. Like I'll feel different about somebody and something that I'm doing, and I won't know why. It's like, why did this mood shift? What's going on? What happened? And it won't be until later, until after I sat down and did my little breakdown of, okay, my journaling. I don't know if anybody else does that, where you kind of do a debrief on the journal page. I highly recommend doing that. But when I do my debrief in my journal, I'll figure out, oh, yeah, that's why your spidey senses went off about that, because if this and this and this was happening. And it either reminded you of something else, or there was something else going on that was hidden and you didn't see it, but your whole body recognized it. And that's because we're good at recognizing patterns. We are masterful at recognizing patterns. Our brains, people like to kind of pin us as kind of dingy and just all over the place and stupid, but we're not. Our brains actually hold a lot and hold a lot, but we can't retrieve it easily like most people. So it makes it hard. It makes it really hard on us. So when that happens, though, our brain will sometimes see stuff that was like, it's like, okay, wait. In one of these file cabinets, I got some shit. Hey. So your brain will be in your head going, hey, wait. I've seen this before. We've seen this before. We've done this before. Hey, flag. We've seen this before. We've done this before. I don't know what I don't know what file cabinet it's in this brain of mine, but I'll find it. And once I find it, you'll see. But we've seen this before. So our brain will be just going, just flagging, saying, hey, stop, get out of there. Don't do this, don't do that. And if we listen to it, we'll end up making a move that will seem weird to everyone in the moment. And I did that. I've done that before. I've left a date just because I didn't feel right. I didn't, something felt off. The mood changed, the mood shifted. It felt so off. And my brain was telling me that something weird was happening. And I wasn't in danger or anything, but it was like the similar warning system. And what it was warning me was the guy's behavior was the same behavior that I've seen before in previous people that were not nice to me, that ended up being not nice to me at all. and who did not have my best interest in mind. And so my brain is like, okay. So finally, when I was at home and journaling and things, my brain was all like, okay, we've seen this in such and such. Remember that person? Remember that person. Okay. Remember that person and what they did to you. It wasn't very nice. It was actually very, very mean, and it derailed you for a long, long time. Remember? Okay. So one of the behaviors that we spotted tonight in this person, yeah, that person needs to do that stuff. And so when the mood shifted and things got weird and I started feeling uncomfortable, it was my brain saying, hey, we've seen this type of shit before. We've seen this type of behavior before. We've seen this type of passive aggressive, stuff before. And it never ended up good for you. So you need to get out of here. You need to leave this person alone. And I left. And I got out. And I ended up still talking because I didn't really get that this person wasn't dangerous. It's just that behavior was something that I really traditionally have not had good backgrounds with. And this is, I'm not saying this is a bad person at all. I'm just saying that behavior, that passive, it's a brand of passive aggressive behavior that every time I've experienced it, it's been horrible for me. it's been by a person who ended up being not good for me at all. As a matter of fact, people who tried to sabotage me, who tried to control me, and who tried to, once I didn't do what they wanted me to do, who tried to, air quote, show people the real me, basically, those people, I'm going to tell people who you really are, those type of people. Not saying this guy is going to do that because he hasn't, we're still friends, but just that behavior. So anyway, I listen to my brain, and when it tells me to ditch someone, I do. When it tells me to do something, I do. And so I'm just, at this point, I've decided that I am going to date people who get past that initial, hi, I'm the bubbly girl, and we'll talk about this and do this and do this, and I'm just so excited. You can make it past that. We can have, we may have a date. But I also, I warn people in the beginning, I do have ADHD, and, this is what that looks like. And this is what that looks like, and this is what that means. Do you have a problem with that? Do you have a problem with people like me? Usually they say no, and I tell them to look it up. But the few times I've encountered people who don't believe in it, I don't take things further. I try not to take things further. Because if you don't believe in something that I've been dealing with in my brain for years, we're not. I'm not going to argue with you about how my brain works. I'm not. I'm not going to argue with somebody about my lived experiences. I'm not. So, I have gotten in heated discussions with people before about it. And I don't know. I'm just refusing to do that now. I'm just like, okay, so you don't believe in that? Bye. You can find somebody else who doesn't have it. So, I hate when that happens. So I am hoping, so it is my hope that in 2025, that as I go along on the dating scene, that I will find, I'm just going to go along with me, and I will be that person who gives no fucks about the rules of dating, and who will just be around people the way she knows to be around people. Especially as a person who is learning again how to interact, how to be in the world as yourself. And I know some of you will get what I mean. Because once again, we are often told to censor ourselves for people around us. I don't know. It's not very So I'm done censoring myself. I'm done censoring myself. I don't know if that comes with being on this side of 40. I'm 44. With what? But I'm done censoring myself. I'm done just kind of being respectable. I'm done trying to make other people comfortable. If I'm uncomfortable, I'm done. I'm that person. I will get up and leave. Um, and that's how I'm doing things from now on. Case in point, last night. So I was supposed to have this thing last night. I was supposed to do this coloring session with you guys last night, but I didn't because um, I got invited to a full moon ceremony. Really weird. Well, not too weird. It's Colorado, and some of the stuff that I've experienced here, like there's been a lot of stuff like that. But so I thought this would be great. This is going to be a great date night with a friend. I was supposed to meet them there, and I take public transit, so I mapped my route on Google. And there's a part of Denver that I hadn't been to before, so it's kind of really sketchy. But they were like, "Oh no, it'll be cool, it'll be cool." I started walking. I got there, and the first thing I noticed is I had to walk down Colfax. And those of you who know Denver know West Colfax. Some areas of that is not kosher, especially not at night. So I was walking down the road with my hunting knife in my hand. Because it was just that creepy, y'all. It was that creepy. And I was just kind of, I don't know. It was really, I wasn't getting the best vibes. And then Google tells me to turn down the side street to get to the place that I was supposed to get to. I walk down that street and I go down a couple blocks. I come from Indiana from a family that was my family. I mean, we got some. I've seen some things growing up, And let's just say, I know a crack house when you see a crack house, okay? And I'm not about to walk down the row of crack houses with people outside who look like they're napping, but they're napping at night in full dark. Yeah. So pass on that. And I started seeing that, noticing that, and I was like, and so my brain started snapping. It was like cooking. Hey, we've seen this before. You need to get the fuck out of here. That's why I left. And I ended up, going to Safeway and spending in the grocery store, grocery shopping, and looking at sale items, stuff like that. And then going back home. But I'm that girl. And so my friend was like, "Where'd you go?" And I said, "There's no way that I was going to walk that. Do you know where you had me going?" "Oh yeah, it's a place that's, what did you say, it's on the rise. It's one of those places where gentrification has started, but it hasn't really took off yet. Y'all know what I'm talking about?" Yeah. So I'm like, nope. I said, but so okay, I'm not coming. So the next time. I'm kind of proud of myself for that. So this is where I'm at. I'm at this place where I'm following my crazy ass phone, even though sometimes it'll get stuff wrong. Sometimes it'll be like, hey, we know this is pattern. We know we've seen this before. And then it'll be like, oh yeah, that's what we've seen before. Oh, that wasn't harmful. That was actually pretty cool. You should have done that. So it's not the most reliable thing. There's been a couple times where it's tried to warn you on things. And it's just because the memory is something it remembered, but it remembered it wrong. Or it remembered it, but didn't know if it was good or bad memory. So that's why I have to be discerning about, what I do. Listen to this brain of mine, but on the whole, it's pretty. I don't know. She's pretty reliable. She protects me. Um, yeah. So I believe I'll probably share here as I go. Um, as I do these things because there's some people who are you're neurodivergent too. Oh, it's a slightly different blue. You're neurodivergent too. You probably had the same experiences. As a matter of fact, if you had similar experiences, please tell me in the comments. I know I'm not alone. But I think that we kind of need to like group up if we're going to get this together, share what we've learned, what works, what doesn't, what do we need to stay away from. And I don't know. I'm kind of to the point where I'm like, where are all the neurodivergent dudes at? Like, show me those. I want to find those. And I want to find the ones who are diagnosed, not the ones who have it and don't know. And they were just walking around here just being shiny and their neurodivergent selves and they don't know it. Because I did date a guy who was neurodivergent. Obviously, clearly, it was obvious and didn't believe that it existed, which was kind of weird. Because I'm like, if you look up ADHD, your face will be right there in the dictionary. It's you. You got all of it. All of it. So anyway, and if that person watches this, all I gotta say is, that, we're good friends and I love you, but dude, you're shiny as fuck. Okay. Probably need to go see somebody. Because yeah. Anyway, so yeah. So I don't know, but it's been an adventure, and actually, it's not been too bad. I mean, it's the dating with ADHD is not too bad. But I just find that a lot of times I have to. There's a lot of times that I have to like really, really, really figure out if something's going to be worth my time. Because another thing I found out is I'm not one of these that could keep it casual. I can't be in limbo. You got to tell me what we're doing, man. Like, what are we doing? What am I to you? Like, what is this? Like, go with the flow. What do you mean by that? So that's another thing about us. We need concrete definitions of things that I don't think that the neurotypical people understand. Like, when you tell me that we're just gonna be friends, okay, what does that mean? Oh, we're just gonna be friends. Oh, you want to sleep with me, and we're still. How's that working out? Or you want to keep it casual, but casual means never going on dates. It means casual means sex, but no dates, no hanging out, always coming to my house. Dude, doesn't that make me a side chick? I mean, doesn't it? I mean, just me asking. So I'm staying away from if you can't define it, I can't do it. I'm the way I'm wired. I need to know what the hell we're doing. And the next person that I get to who says, when I ask, well, are you looking for a relationship? Are you looking for, well, I don't know until I find the person. Then to that person, I'm going to say, good luck to you, sir. I'm out. Because once again, every time that I've talked to people like that, and most of the time it didn't end up in a date, because I find out they just want a one-night stand, and that's it. And they will tell you that they're looking for a relationship because it's in your dating profile or it's something you talked about and they heard you talk about it before, but they're not looking for that. They're just looking for sex. So a lot of those get knocked out just in the talking stage, because my talking stage, I require you to talk. You gonna talk to me. You gonna talk to me. Or you gonna, I mean, if not, you're gonna block me. Because I don't know. And some of y'all can tell me in the comments, have you ever been in the talking stage and asked the wrong question and a person outs themselves by blocking you? There was a person, I asked them what they did for a living. And he was like, why are you asking me a question like that? I'm like, because that's the type of questions we ask each other at this point, right? I mean, we're just talking. Why you gotta know what I'm doing? Are you one of these gold digger chicks? Dude, I have me covered. I don't need your money for anything. I'm just wanting, I'm just this is just conversation. Why do you have a job? Is that, or are you, is this your account? Are you impersonating somebody? So these are questions, and I'm also a reporter. So these are questions too that I ask as a reporter. And after I asked that, I got blocked. So, and then later on, I found out that his account was taken down. So, because somebody else I knew matched with that person and was like, isn't that this person that did such and such? Yeah. And then not too long later, the account was taken down. It was a fraud. So, love and ADHD. This is our panic pages. And I didn't explain the panic pages. I just kind of launched into love because it's morning and I'm not a morning person. But if you want to know how these pages work, go to my website, jonitaldavis.com. Look at watch the other videos. They work because they get us to calm and be open to whatever comes next, by kind of switching up our energy and focus. So this has been Color with Me, and me is Joe, and this has been our love segment. So that's it. Bye.